I'm Bill, and welcome to The Disruptors. Today, I'm going to be hosting the show. Candace from the Wild Child Group is not with me today. She's on vacation, a much-needed rest for her. She'll be back with us, however, on our podcast coming up on the January season schedule. I want to remind you also that the Wild Child Group classes will be forming again in January. Brand new schedule, a lot of neat classes that Candace teaches about the fundamentals of business. So if you have a local business and you'd like to take it global, may I suggest, write this number down. You want to talk to Candace Thompson, 253-961-7525. Give her a call. She'll be glad to talk with you and discuss what 2018 can look like for your business. On the show today, we're going to talk about a long journey for a slide video that we started in the year 2015. And we're very proud to announce that we finally finished it and are going to be releasing it today. Let me tell you a little history about what this video is about and how it came about. In 2015, I had an opportunity to meet a gentleman by the name of Chris Jones. He's a local musician that lives in the Puyallup area. He worked his way from the East Coast to the West Coast after leaving the United States Marine Corps, and my special thanks to him for the service that he has done for our country. Chris was originally from Olympia, Washington, so he's an actual Washingtonian. Chris has performed music practically all over the United States in his career of writing songs and producing songs. Great band was Chris Jones Live, which you may have heard on Spotify or maybe even on Pandora. Chris has had quite a long career, and in his career he had the opportunity, when he was commissioned by a law enforcement agency, to write a song for a campaign that they were developing to stop teenage drinking and driving. The deaths of, as we know it, from the 16 to 21-year-old bracket each year, it just is incredible. Throughout the United States, there's so many lives that are lost before they actually begin. The song was commissioned and written, but was never completely put together, and the commission was dropped. So Chris incorporated the particular song on one of his CDs called Burn. He has accomplished a lot of great songwriting. He played several places here in the Pierce County and King County area for a couple of years. But I think the thing that stood out in my mind, and I always hesitate for just a moment because Chris is a very creative individual. Choices was a song commissioned by a state law enforcement agency with the idea to put together an ad campaign to make young drivers understand that when they get behind the wheel and mix alcohol with drugs and driving, that it is a fatal mistake. Now, the song's commission went very well, but the actual promotion died, I guess you'd call it, on the cutting room floor. Chris, in turn, then took that particular song and put it in one of his CDs, which was called Burn. After talking to Chris, I think that the whole concept of Choices never really left his heart or his mind. Even though it did not go over as well as he had anticipated on the East Coast, it still had something for him, and it had a message that I believe that he would want everybody to recognize, West Coast, East Coast, or wherever as far as that goes. Traffic deaths are horrendous in the United States. We all know that. We know that it's safer to fly in an airplane than it is to actually drive down a freeway. Laws change, ideas change, and unfortunately our lifestyles have changed now, especially more than ever with technology. When I started on this project, I started on it as a public service. I wanted to produce what I think Chris would have wanted to see with music and a video image to impact what the song was all about. So my task was to take the song Choices, add pictures to it, and see if I could bring out a meaning, and see if I could bring out the true, I guess you would say, choice that you have when you drive under the influence, and what the effect is to the others that we love, or those who have lost loved ones because of the wrong choices. I started out putting different pictures together, reading news articles, and trying to feel the whole effect of putting that with music in what I call a social media visual effect. Now, I want you to know that wasn't as easy as I thought it would be. I figured I could just sit down, gather up some pictures, look at some news articles, and bango, I could put together a slide video, overlay the music, and everything would be really great. Well, I did. I put it together within probably a 4 to 5 hour period the first time. But then I ran into some interesting things. One of the things that I ran into was it was not timely enough. In other words, it wasn't good for the past as much as I wanted it to also be timely for the future. There I was sitting thinking one day, well, that picture's not right, or that sound's not right, or this has to be changed around, or I need to add some more effects. I went to the newspapers and again started reading stories, and I went to every place that I could think of that I could get a visual picture of an impact. Put together the video for the second time, put it on the air, and it flopped. It wasn't that it was not correct, I believe, in what the message was. There was just too many mistakes. Pictures that didn't match the music, and thoughts and ideas that just didn't work. So it has been sitting on the shelf, what we call a shelf, I guess a year now. So after I updated some of my software, I decided, well, I'm going to take it off the shelf and try one more time. So the product that you're looking at today is 3 years in the making. But I think the message is very, very clear. And I hope that everybody understands that the video actually brings out the point that today in society, we need to think about others. We need to start and understand that even though technology is fascinating, it really has a place. And the place is not while you're driving. The new revised video, I believe, conquers the questions in my mind about the distractions that are now occurring on our roadways. I salute, by the way, all the wonderful people that have dedicated their lives with the Washington State Patrol and law enforcement to keep us safe on the highways. I want to thank you so very much for 2017 listening to our shows. I hope that this particular podcast will make the right choice for life. For viewing our Choices video slide presentation, please go to our Facebook page, that's The Disruptors, and you'll find the video included with our short introduction. Thanks for listening. Music by bensound.com.